14 plus. Oh man, this took ages. Okay, so last weekend, the movie where a giant lizard and a giant monkey get into a slappy fight came out. I have not yet seen it. I was intending to release this before going to see it, and that may still happen, I'm not sure. But yeah, I was intending to release this on opening weekend, and for various reasons, we weren't going to see it on opening weekend. But here is a Godzilla vs. Kong Speedpaint, I guess. There's not actually that much to talk about with this one. I took a little while playing around with Godzilla because he was interesting to get right. I wanted to have almost like a high noon stare down look for him, but it wasn't really working, so I just drew him slightly sideways. Kong, I am not entirely happy with his face particularly, but leave me alone. Fuck off. Monkeys and apes are fucking difficult to do right. Regardless, I'm also in this one playing around with a kind of different art style. This was an attempt at that more kind of hyper detailed concept arty style where everything is done with shading and tone and all of that, and line direction is important, and everything is like hyper detailed and lines where they're supposed to be. And I'm quite happy with it, but honestly, it yeah, it worked, but this took way too long to make this more of my kind of standard art style. This is just not sustainable for long-term use. It is a nightmare drawing using this style because it just takes forever. Like, there's no way around it. This took hours and hours to do. And that is also bearing in mind that it was, fucking tough, time consuming, and hurt my hand a hell of a lot. So at the end of the day, it's an interesting art style to play around with, but oh, and you do occasionally see me flicking back and forth to some reference images of Kong, particularly because his coloration and his face were just difficult to get right. And again, I'm not entirely happy with him. But yeah, regardless, this is just a bit of a nightmare art style wise. Oh, and you see me adding some like stippling there as skin pores, just to add a bit of detail to his face because it was looking a bit flat. Godzilla, on the other hand, I am very happy with. I still don't think the style totally works, and I still don't think you get enough out of the style for the time investment to be worthwhile. But I'm pretty happy with Godzilla, particularly his back plates. I'm not entirely happy with his spines, and his belly is a little bit thin. He's a little too skinny. He should be a bit chunkier. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with him. Yeah, you'll also notice here and there that there are a couple of places where it suddenly jumps progress, and it looks like I have skipped over something. That's because I have. This took a fucking long time, as I've said, and I had to do it over several installments, and I didn't remember to turn on my recording right away with each of them, and obviously didn't leave it on in the background. So yeah, there will be a couple of places where suddenly you'll just jump, and there'll be a bit more color and a bit more stuff filled in, a bit more stuff fleshed out. But you can ignore that. There's not much that you missed. It was pretty similar to what you're seeing right now for the entire time. It was just lots and lots of repeated brush strokes, lots of blending. It was a nightmare to do. This took ages, and yeah, I'm fairly happy with the result, but I just don't think it's worth investing this much time in a piece. I mean, this literally caused Photoshop to crash and corrupt the file, so thank God I finished it, because I can now no longer access the Photoshop file for this thing. It was big enough and time consuming enough, and combined with the recording was hard enough on my computer, that it just decided to break. So I probably won't be doing this art style again, but like, let me know if you want to see more stuff like this and less kind of random character sketches and more kind of scene type things. I probably won't do as many of them regardless of whether there's like interest in it, because, you know, they take a fucking long time. But yeah, I could see myself doing some more of this kind of stuff in the future, just not with the same style. I mentioned in the last video that I've been messing around with art styles. This was one of the things I wanted to try. It works, but it also doesn't work. The idea with this was to try and get that really concept arty look of very clean details and lots of details. And I think I somewhat achieved it, but not enough to justify the amount of time that I'd have to invest into like teaching myself the new style and improving at it and each individual artwork. So you'll also notice that there's a rim lighting. I'm quite happy with this on Godzilla. It adds to the lightness. Oh, though, yeah, there was a time jump there. You'll notice the rim light. I like it on Godzilla. It adds to the lightness of the background, but I do not like it on Kong. It makes his colors feel a bit washed out. And I also go back over with some overlay layers to add shadows and lights and stuff. That's how I get the back plates on Godzilla to properly shine and look like they're glowing. And that's how I rectify Kong's color a bit, make him look a bit like darker and less washed out. And then just adding a kind of sunset-y, cloudy sky type thing in the background. Look, at this point I was tired, so leave off. Anyway, yeah, hope you liked it. So yeah.